Hey cake nieces, it's Marisha. Hi. I was asked to make this adorable springtime cake. You don't have to have much experience cake decorating at all to make this gorgeous cake, and it is going to come out beautifully. You swirl, you dab, you dot, and then you're done. It is covered in gorgeous muted pink rosette sprinkles, and then of course I had to add a little bit of gold leaf for that little bit of couture touch. If you haven't done so yet, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, press on the notification bell, and then let's get started. So excited for this video, can you not tell in the phalanges all up in the camera? So I have my cake, it's completely ready to go. I believe this is an 8-inch cake. It is 3 layers, so it's nice and tall. My 2 buttercreams are both vanilla, but one is blush pink and the other is a pink mixed with purple to get that really gorgeous. It almost reminds me of Yoplai's raspberry yogurt color. Anywho, I'm going to use the classic 1M tip. 1M tips are usually the tips that you use to make rosettes. However, you can use other pointed star tips. But that 1M tip, that one's just special. I'm going to start off with that blush pink. And I'm starting off towards the bottom of the cake. My rosettes to start off with are a medium to large size. And there's no clear direction here. You're just going to fill up majority of the base of the cake. Swirl and twirl as your spirit leads you to swirl and twirl. And do that in life as well. If you want to twirl down the street, do that. It's funny, like whenever I start making a rosette cake, I always at first feel like but that's because it's bald. Of course it's gonna look like with just a few strands of hair. It's when you start filling that bad boy in and you get a nice little tight afro, and then you're good. So don't panic. That's the point of me saying this, because as you fill the cake up more, it's gonna come together. And then this is where my mind is like, oh, rosettes are like the jerry curl of the buttercream. Like, and this is why a lot of times I just don't say anything, because who's thinking that? I am. Your neighborhood YouTube weirdo who just so happens to know how to bake and cook. I'm going to move more towards the top of the cake, and I'm just going to pipe stars and swirls once again, or rosettes as we are saying in this video. Along with stars and random rosettes, I am making sure to kind of group the stars into 2. That, don't even ask me what that is, but as you can see, I'm grouping it into 2. So I'm moving it with my other buttercream, and I'm filling in all of those spaces that I left at the bottom and just throughout the cake. Along with rosettes and stars, I'm going to pipe some shells also. You could really see those towards the bottom of the cake. At this point, we want to make sure that none of that base frosting is showing towards the bottom. And then as we get towards the top, we are just filling in accents of flowers and rosettes and stars. It's a delicate cake, is it not? Buttercream leaves always bring the cake together, so I'm using a petal tip, and I'm piping in some very vibrant green buttercream, if I may say so. Super vibrant, but it works. And then I go in with another shade of green. I figured since we have 2 shades of rosettes, we would have 2 shades of greens also. So as you can see, one is more of a deeper green, more muted, and then one is super vibrant and like that Jumanji green. The darker green is not in a petal tip. I'm using a regular small round tip and creating my own leaves by kind of piping a heart in a sense. Now this cake really comes to life with the sprinkles. This is one time where sprinkles actually look gorgeous and classy on a cake. I could sell a sprinkle cake to my grandmother if I'm giving her this style of cake. She would love it. We're only going to be using golds, whites, and some pinks and purples if we find it. They have to be similar to the color of the rosettes. This sprinkle technique is so much easier when you don't have gloves on. Like if you're doing your own personal cake or a cake for your family and they know what you're about and you know what they're about, go ahead and just dab your finger just a little bit in some water and then just tap those sprinkles and just lightly pat them on. It works wonders. I'm going to use my smallest gold sprinkles, pat onto the bare parts of the cake. You want to pat them on in groups. It is easiest to do this with your finger or even maybe a wet paintbrush if this is not the accent of a lifetime. And then I'm going to use my larger sprinkles, really just in the colors of white and pale pink, maybe purple, to go in between some of the rosettes and in the center of some of those stars, turning them into flowers. I was so happy to have such an abundance of different sprinkles. It was very easy to bring this cake together. And then of course we're going to finish it off with gold. This is a cake that allows you to be creative and artsy. You don't have to overthink it too much. It's going to be beautiful regardless. And it's a lot of fun to make because you know that it's going to turn out nicely. So that's always a good thing. I hope that you guys enjoyed this cake. Couture in a rosette cake. Bye guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Wasn't it easy? And it's absolutely gorgeous. This could be a wedding cake. That's how pretty it is. Let's pick a cake needs to comment, shall we? On my how to properly wrap and store your cakes video, Shamad Ahmed said, so can I put it in the fridge or is the freezer better? Your video is awesome. Thank you. I prefer the freezer. Now, if you're going to use the cake the next day, tomorrow, sure, put it in the fridge. But for me personally, if I'm even decorating a cake 2 days later, I'm putting it in the freezer because I feel like it really locks in the moisture. Like immediately, it freezes the moisture right into place. Technically, the moment that your cake is brought out of the oven, the staling process begins. And then thaw it out when you need it. And I'm at the point where I just don't really take any chances. Have you not seen some of my cake tales? So thank you so much for the comment. If you would like to be featured in the next video, all you have to do is comment down below, or you can be featured as a Cakenista creation. Send in your cakes to me on Facebook, on Instagram, MarishasCoutureCakes, or Marishas_Couture_Cakes on Instagram. I hope that you check the description down below and head over to my Etsy shop, etsy.com/shop/MarishasCoutureCakes, so that you can see what I have and I can make you some cakes. I will see you in the next video. Bye, Cakenistas. Alexa, play Guantanamera.
Guantanamera by Celia Cruz.
Guantanamera.